up, guys? Super Gimp here, as I like to be called by my real name, which is Dean. Welcome back to Throwback Thursday. In today's episode, in the background, you will be watching some Modern Warfare 3. I think I briefly touched on this before in a previous video, but I don't really care for Modern Warfare 3. Now, I don't think it's like the worst Call of Duty ever, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's kind of when... I mean, it took a while for me to finally just not be as into Call of Duty, but I think this is where things started to slowly degrade for me. Like, it's when the hype for it just slowly started to die. But it wasn't like the end for me. Anyways, nevertheless, this gameplay is not all that great. I will fully admit that. I don't get through all my streaks. I struggled to do it, but whatever. I played some Modern Warfare 3 the other day, and I figured, you know what? It's an acceptable enough score. Let's talk about some Modern Warfare 3. And that is what I want to talk about today, is the first time that I ever went and pre-ordered or went to a midnight release of a Call of Duty event. And if you couldn't tell, obviously it was Modern Warfare 3, which is why I chose this particular gameplay. And nothing really exciting happened. There was nothing like too crazy that went on. I've always kind of been, you know, I used to be, at least I should say, super hyped about the Call of Duty drops, like when they were coming out. Like when Black Ops came out, I remember that was the first time where I was like, I was finally good at the game and I was really freaking pumped for it. That was the best KD game I had, I think, except Black Ops 3. Maybe Black Ops 1 might have been the best, actually. But I was like super pumped when Black Ops came out. I didn't get it on midnight release. I usually just order my games off Amazon. It's way easier that way. And nowadays, if you are a Prime member, you get to save $12 on it. So it makes no sense to me to not, you know, just pre-order it on Amazon. So that's always what I had done. I would order it on Amazon. I would get it around like noon the next day. So I took off school for Black Ops 1, and I just remember, I'll save that story for another day. We will save that story for another day. So, the midnight release, what happened? Obviously, I pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered it at Blockbuster, actually, which is where I used to go all the time before it closed down. A lot of the Blockbusters are closed in America. You guys may not even know what a Blockbuster is if you're too young, but that place, that was my place, man. I loved Blockbuster. I freaking loved it. But yeah, it closed down. So I went there. I pre-ordered it probably like 2 months in advance because for some reason, I don't know, there was that stigmatism back in the day that if you didn't pre-order the game, you wouldn't get it. There would be no copies. And now it's like, if you don't pre-order something, unless it's like a Nintendo Classic, you're going to be able to get it. It doesn't freaking matter. But yeah, I pre-ordered it like 2 months in advance, freaking out that I wouldn't get it. I was super pumped. And then that night, I didn't have anyone to drive me, actually. I didn't drive. So I had to ask the old man, my dad, who... I've never really talked about my family too much, but my dad freaking hates video games. Like, he despises them. I don't know why. I've argued with him before because he loves movies, he loves TV. I'm like, dude, it's the same medium. The only difference is this is interactive. So as opposed to like watching TV or a movie, and not saying, I was going to say that you're using your brain, but that's not to say you wouldn't be when watching TV or movie. But yeah, it's more interactive. So I've never understood that. But anyway, the old man hates video games, so he had to take me to this event, and he's hanging out there with me. We're in line. I don't know, there's maybe like 12, 15 people in there, and none of them I know. I'm like, in my area, like I know a ton of the people around me, and I thought I would run into someone I knew up there, but I did not know any of the kids who were up there. Ages ranging anywhere from like 17 to 25, and I think I was 20, maybe 21 at the time. But yeah, so we went up to the Blockbuster, grabbed the game, and they actually invited me to play in a Call of Duty tournament that they were having on the Saturday. I think the game dropped on a Tuesday, and on the Saturday, I was talking to one of the girls who I knew up there because I went to Blockbuster all the freaking time, and she was like, yeah, we're having an event on Saturday, a Call of Duty event. I know you play games all the time, you should come check it out. So I signed up for the event, actually, and I was like, oh shit, this is my big moment. I'm gonna join a pro team and I'm gonna become Optic. Didn't even end up going to it. So I joined that. I think I had hockey that Saturday probably, but yeah, I joined that tournament and never even showed up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the story. There's nothing really crazy that happened. Like I said, I went there, got invited to a tournament, didn't attend. I ended up playing until like 4 in the morning, and like it was a blast, but I will never do that again. Like, I was so tired the next day, and I just kept playing, and I wasn't doing good. That was the thing. So I wasn't having a ton of fun. I was, because it was new Call of Duty, but I was not having a ton of fun because I was not doing good at the game that night. Like, I was getting like, I think I finished the day with like a 115 KD, and I was just super pissed because I wanted gameplays, and I skipped school the next day, and yeah, I stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have not done a midnight release since, and I will probably never do one again. that's it for the video, guys. I know it's like not a super cool story. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any experiences with midnight releases. I'd be curious to hear that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if not, feel free to give it a dislike, and gimp out. Peace.